Hey, ASL famous folks. So you guys did your research project on a famous deaf person. These are six people that I think are pretty important that I wanted you to make sure that you know about whether someone in class had researched about them or not. Okay. Marlee Matlin, probably the most famous as of right now, off of your list. So Marlee Matlin, born in 1965, still alive. She's an actress, a very, very accomplished actress. Okay, so she had her breakout role in a film called Children of a Lesser God. Children of a Lesser God was originally a play. Then when they did the movie adaptation, she played Sarah? Her name's Sarah. Her character's name is Sarah. And then it was, has gone back to the theater. But she won an Academy Award for her leading female role. She's the first deaf actress to win an Academy Award. She's also the only deaf person to win an Academy Award. Since then, she has gone on to, she was on Dancing with the Stars, CSI, Law & Order SVU in a couple of episodes. She's I think, teacher in Switched at Birth, The L Word. I mean, the list goes on and on of what she has been in, both on TV and in the movies. Okay, she has 4 children and a husband. They live in the LA area. Her husband is a cop security guard, so that's how they met. He was doing security at one of her sets. Okay, all of her children are hearing. I don't think that anyone really signs in her family, but she can talk. Hey, she does talk very well, and so some of her roles have just been talking, some of them have been just signing, some of them have been both. But you will always see her with her interpreter, Jack. He's been with her for decades. All right, Linda Bove. Born in 1945, she's still alive. Linda Bove played Linda the Librarian on Sesame Street for decades. It is for how long she was on Sesame Street, that is the longest continuous role for a deaf person, for a deaf actor ever. Okay, with her husband Ed Waterstreet, they established Deaf West Theater. It's in downtown LA, and I highly recommend going once it's safe. So Deaf West Theater is a small theater, and normally when we as hearing people go to a play, everyone on stage is hearing, we can listen, and then they usually have an interpreter or two off stage right in front, signing. Sometimes they will have the interpreters on stage shadowing. Okay, but Deaf West Theater is different in that it's reversed. The actors are on stage signing. The voice interpreters are sometimes off to the side, just voice interpreting, or sometimes they're doing the shadowing. And Deaf West has a great way of also making the interpreters like the person that they're interpreting for, like their friends. It's cool. I highly recommend going. Then Linda Bove was on a show called Happy Days, where she played Fonzie's girlfriend, the main character's girlfriend. Okay, Dr. King Jordan, everyone knows about. He's born in 1943. He is still alive to this day. He is the first deaf president of Gallaudet University after the DPN, Deaf President Now protests in 1988. So if you see any videos of Dr. King Jordan, he can talk. He will sign when he is talking. That is because he became deaf at the age of 21 from a motorcycle accident. It damaged part of his ears. So his signing is based off of English grammar. Like English grammar is correct, but his signing, he's just signing what he is saying. That is because your brain literally cannot handle two grammatical structures at the same time. So you're either speaking English and your ASL grammar's off, or if you're focusing on your ASL grammar and you're trying to say that at the same time, you're going to speak like you're glossing. So he was elected president of Gallaudet in 1988. He was president all the way until 2006, when he finally retired. And they had one more president after him, and then in 2016, Gallaudet elected their first female president, Roberta Cordano, and she's still the president right now. Heather Whitestone McCallum, born in 1973, she's still alive. First deaf woman to win Miss America in 1995. Her winning talent, or her talent in the pageant, I should say, was ballet. She was put into ballet classes when she was younger. Deaf people can feel the vibrations of the music. Later in life, she got a cochlear implant because she wanted to be able to communicate with her children, be able to hear what they had to say. She does a lot of, she has a foundation to help deaf children get hearing aids and cochlear implants. William Demihoy, born in 1862, he died in 1961. So back in that time period, deaf people, their nicknames were like deaf and dumb or dummy. So that's why that is up there. That was his name. Do we use that today? Absolutely not. Okay. William Demihoy was the first deaf professional baseball player. Okay. So he is credited with inventing the signs and the signals that are used in baseball today. So the story was that he would be up to bat and the pitcher would throw the ball and he would have to turn around and look at the umpire to see if it was a ball or a strike. Okay, and then by the time he turned back around and got all situated, the pitcher would just throw the ball again quickly before he was fully ready, and he was constantly being struck out. So he set up, I'm not sure if he was batted right or left hand, but whichever way he was facing, he set it up so that the coach that was right there, either at first or third base, depending on which way he was facing, he could just automatically do a little signal to let him know if it was a ball or a strike. And all he would have to do was move his eyeballs. Okay? And then he taught the alphabet and some basic signs to his teammates. And then when his team traveled to play other teams, they would teach other teams the alphabet and some signs as well. First player to play in all 4 regional leagues. He had 2 goals in life. He wanted to live to be 100. He died at 99. And then he also wanted to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He has been inducted into the Deaf Sports Hall of Fame, but he has yet to be inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. And then finally, Juliette Gordon Lowe. She was born in 1860 and she died in 1927. In 1912, she founded the Girl Scouts of the United States. She was friends with the founder of the Boy Scouts, and she wanted to bring that opportunity to girls. Okay? So she has an interesting story of how she became deaf. She wasn't born deaf. When she was little, she kept getting ear infections. So between the ear infection and the medication, it caused her to go deaf in one of her ears. Then on her wedding day, when she was leaving the ceremony, you know how some people will throw like rice when they're leaving the church, or birdseed, whatever. Well, a piece of rice got lodged in her ear that she could hear out of. And when doctors went to go get it out, they accidentally pushed it in further, damaging her ear, and it caused her to go deaf in her other ear. Later on, she did die of breast cancer after her and her husband got divorced. She had breast cancer. She tragic life. That's it.